These harrowing 911 calls include a case solved by serial decades later, a brave child providing key evidence in a burglary, a politician lands himself in hot water, and a tragic accident that seems not so accidental after all. First, a story that's hard to forget.
Call the police. My son hasn't come back from school yet. Pardon? I said a report of my son missing. He hasn't been back from school. Right. Well, I haven't seen him since this morning. Okay, what's your name, please? Mrs. Ruth and Neave. Lee? Neave. Neave. Okay, what's your son's name, please? Rikki. R-I-K-K-I. Okay. How old is your son? 6. Okay, and what time was the last time you saw him? When he went to school. That was this morning? Yeah. Okay. What school did he go to? Welland. Okay. Welland Primary. Right, what's your address, please? Okay. Right, what was he wearing? School uniform, white shirt. I don't know. I think a little blue coat. Yeah. His usual coat he wears. He hasn't even worn today. Okay, white. So it's a white shirt. What kind of trousers? He got his shoes on. Okay. Now, is there any chance he could have gone to his friend's house or anything like that from school? No, never, ever. He's never turned around and done this before. Never. Right. What time does he usually get in? Like no later than 4:45. 4:45. All right then. What I'll do, Ruth, I'll get an officer to come and see you. Okay, and we'll take it from there. Yeah, like he's never done this before. Okay, he's 6 years old. Yeah. All right. Don't worry then. Are you ringing from the phone box? Okay then. Leave it with me. I'll get somebody to come and see you there, and he'll take a statement, and we'll take it from there. Yeah. All right, Ruth. Bye. Bye.
6-year-old Rikki Neave went missing in 1994 after leaving home for school. A day later, his body was discovered in undergrowth. He was naked and posed star-shaped with his arms outstretched and legs wide apart in woodland near his home on the Welland Estate in Peterborough, England. He had been strangled. How did it take nearly 3 decades for the killer, who was 13 at the time, to be brought to justice? The police first suspected Rikki's mother, Ruth, who has been relentlessly trying to keep attention on the case. During her 1996 trial, the court was told how she had threatened to kill her son, scrawled "idiot" across his forehead on one occasion, and squirted washing up liquid in his mouth. The 6-year-old was known to Cambridgeshire Social Services and the county's Child Protection Register as a vulnerable child. But while she was jailed for 7 years for child cruelty, Ruth was cleared of his murder. The mother would later claim that she was bullied into admission. The head of the local major crime unit at the time, Paul Fullwood, agreed to meeting with the Neave family in 2014. After hearing the evidence and reviewing the police work, Fullwood came out of retirement to see out the case. He organized a cold case investigation with a new team made up of staff not involved in the original investigation. Some issues they encountered are common in cold case reviews, such as dead witnesses or faded memories. And there were issues with some of the evidence as well. For example, some of Rikki's clothing was returned to Ruth Neave's solicitors after her 1996 trial. Additionally, the bin the clothes were initially found in had been stored in the underground car park at Thorpe Wood Police Station in Peterborough. Back in 1994, sticky tape was used to collect fibers from clothing. The new team came across an envelope containing samples of Rikki's clothing and DNA linked to their new suspect, James Watson, who was spotted playing with the missing child that day. When he was questioned this time, his story changed. Originally, Watson had said he might have lifted Rikki up in the air to help him see over a fence, but footage from 1994 showed the estate had been redeveloped, making that impossible. However, the cold case team knew that the DNA discovery alone was not enough to secure a conviction and started to pull other pieces of evidence together. They found evidence that Watson, who was 41 years old by then, had inappropriately touched a 5-year-old when he was about 11 or 12, and a previous partner had complained about him strangling her during sex. 2 teachers revealed how, on the day after Rikki's murder, Watson had photocopied the front page of the Peterborough Evening Telegraph, which was centered on the case, something unnatural for a 13-year-old. In April 2016, 22 years later, James Watson was arrested on suspicion of murder. By then, he was a serial offender with a criminal record, including an arson attack at a police station. Despite this, Watson was released on bail and left the UK 3 months later. The convict traveled Europe until he was eventually re-arrested near the British Embassy in Lisbon. Prosecutors felt there was not enough evidence to charge him with Rikki's murder. However, that decision was overturned after Rikki's family lodged an appeal under the Victim's Right to Review scheme. A senior prosecutor later said that the breakfast cereal Weetabix held the key to bringing the killer to justice after 27 years. What had seemed like a small clue all those years ago would actually be a game changer. Rikki had breakfast at around 9:30 a.m. on the day of his murder, and he died within 2 hours of that. At first, it was believed he had been killed later in the day. This evidence could have cleared Ruth early on and turned the attention to the real murderer. As a result of the cold case team's investigation, James Watson was convicted in April 2022 and jailed for a minimum of 15 years. Of course, the frustration of waiting 28 years for justice remains unforgivable for the family.
(911)
Excuse me?
911, hon.
All right. I'm not in any danger right now, but it's urgent. These people, they came through my door, and my mom is at work, and so is my dad, but they came through my store, and they stole a ton of our stuff. A whole lot of it. They told me to get down. I did.
So you're saying that you were just robbed?
Yes, I was.
Did they have any weapons?
I'm not quite sure, but they left now. And
do you know who they were?
No, they
You're
Yes.
What's your name?
I'm 12 years old.
You're 12?
Yeah.
You're home by yourself?
Yeah, my mom usually just leaves for a little bit to go do crossing guard duties, but just.
Okay, how'd they get in the house?
I think I'm not quite sure. I just know the door opened. I thought it was my mom, and
Was the door unlocked, hon?
No, it wasn't. I know that much.
So they came in through a locked door?
Yes. And
how many people? Male, female, white, black?
There were 3 black people, and they were
males or what?
They were males.
Three black males. What were they in?
They were in. I didn't see any license plate. I'm sorry, but
that's okay. What kind of car, honey?
I'm not sure what kind of car, but I know it was like kind of metallic red, and it looked like an older car.
What did they get from your house?
They took my Wii, my TV, my PS2, like all the they like tore down my mom's jewelry, all that kind of stuff.
And where were you at when this was happening?
I just walked out of the bathroom. I heard the door open.
What did they make you do?
They just made me get down on the ground, and I just
46, 48, 46, 61. And just stay on the line with me a second, hon.
Okay, because I'm just really scared.
Okay, stay on the line.
Okay.
Where's your mom at now, hon?
She said she'd be right home.
Did you call her?
Yeah, she called like just right after. I mean, they're gone now, but I'm just really scared.
Okay, I'm just
Huh?
Okay, what was that unit? Commerce. Okay, I'm going to stay online with him. His parents aren't home at this time.
My mom's home. My mom is home.
Okay, I'll wait till she gets in the house, sweetie.
Okay. Mom, I'm coming.
Go ahead.
I'm coming, Mom. Mom, they took all your drawers and everything. And they took our TV and all that other stuff. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yes, Mom, they were driving a red car. I just couldn't.
All right, tell her the officers are on their way, sweetie.
Huh? Oh, please tell us.
He's just advising some type of a metallic red car. His mother's arriving at the house now. He's talking to her.
Oh,
it's all right.
It's you okay. Talk to my mom?
Please, honey. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, hon. We have officers on the way, and we have officers checking the area. I need to know, was the door locked or did they break the door in?
Honey, did I leave the door unlocked? Did they come right in? They came in. The back door must have been unlocked. I just left.
She's believing the back door was unlocked and they must have just walked in. The youngster was in the restroom.
My son was saying he's not sure. He said he thought it was locked, but he can't be sure. I had just left to go to work a half an hour ago, and I only work like a
okay. He's not hurt at all, though, right?
No, he's fine. He's just shaken up. Did they have a gun or anything, honey?
He said he didn't see any weapons.
All right.
Okay, like I said, I've got several units coming and they're checking the area too. Okay, what's your first name, hon? Okay, they'll be there shortly. If you could start taking inventory of what they all took. Now, he did say they went through your jewelry.
Okay, I've already checked and made sure they didn't take my wedding ring, and that really would be the only expensive jewelry that I have.
Okay, they'll be there shortly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. That poor kid.
In January 2010, a 12-year-old boy was home alone in Warren, Ohio, while his mother ran an errand. The boy came out of the bathroom and was confronted by 3 burglars, who forced him to lie down while they loaded items from the house into their car. The brave boy took note of a car description when the burglars fled. His mother arrived home while he was on the call. The piercing screams of children begging South Carolina Republican lawmaker Chris Corley to just stop rang through to 911 Aiken City Dispatch.
Aiken City 911, what is your emergency? Aiken City 911. 911.
On December 26, 2016, the dispatcher tried to get Corley's wife on the phone. Then, a second 911 phone call was made by what appeared to be a female family member who lived across the street.
911, where's your emergency? County, this is Derek at Aiken City. I had a caller sounded like children screaming for help and begging for their father to stop. I'm pinging them in the area.
Yeah. And don't get in front of the window. I'm calling
Aiken County 911.
Would you send the cops to...
What's going on there?
There's a man threatening to kill himself. Hello?
Okay, yes, ma'am. We've got a well-being check for some type of disturbance where the father is beating children.
No. He hit his wife. Didn't he beat you? He beat his wife and he's threatening to kill himself.
Does he have any type of weapons?
Pardon?
Does he have any type of weapons?
He has a weapon. Yes, he does.
Okay. Is it a gun? Is it a knife? What does he have?
It's a gun. Don't get through the window.
All right. What color is that house?
It's a red brick house. It sits up on a hill.
All right. We're on the way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
According to police, the altercation started after Chris Corley's wife caught him cheating. He then allegedly struck her head and face with a closed fist. Heather Corley said the man only stopped assaulting her because he heard kids screaming and noticed blood coming from her head. A police report indicates that Corley then returned to his car, pointed a handgun at his wife, told her he was going to take his life, then went into his bedroom. His wife and the children fled to a family member's house across the street. In the accused version of the events, as Heather attempted to strike him with her fist, Corley pushed her off of him, and he was scratched on the forehead. He was released from jail on a $20,000 surety bond, with the condition that he couldn't contact his wife or possess a gun. The controversial lawmaker had consistently supported gun rights in South Carolina, although he supported the state's domestic violence bill signed into law in 2015, which includes a partial gun ban. In 2020, Chris Corley was handed a 6-year suspended sentence to serve 5 years of probation after pleading guilty to first-degree domestic violence. Heather Corley pleaded for leniency, saying her husband has a diagnosis of bipolar disorder and that bad side effects from his medication contributed to the incident. A couple gets 12 years in prison after their python killed their 2-year-old daughter.
What is the address of your emergency? Okay. And what city is this in? Okay, and are you in a subdivision or a Milton Park?
No, I'm at the house. We're right on the road. We're right in front of Gwen Smith's house.
Right in front of Christmas house?
Gwen Smith.
Okay. And what's your name, please? What's the phone number you're calling from? Okay, and what's the problem? Tell me exactly what happened.
Our snake, we have a Burmese python, and she's about 12 foot long. She got out of the cage last night and got into the baby's crib and strangled her to death.
Okay, stay on the line, please. Tim. Okay, I do have help on the way there for you, sir. I need to ask you a few more questions, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
In July 2009, a Burmese python escaped from its terrarium in the middle of the night. It crawled into the crib of 2-year-old Cheyenne and suffocated her. Charles Darnell, the mother's boyfriend, discovered the snake missing, searched the house, and found the shocking scene. He stabbed the snake that was hiding under furniture. But when the parents, Jaron Hare and Charles Darnell, went to trial, dark details made the attack seem less accidental. Testimony revealed the python had not been fed for a month and had wrapped itself around the little girl in an attempt to eat her. The snake's tank was also only equipped with a quilt for a lid, making it an easy escape. Hare's mother told the court she warned her daughter about the dangers of having the snake and even offered to buy it and keep it at her home and in a locked enclosure. They were both convicted of third-degree murder, manslaughter, and child neglect. The couple had a daughter who was born about a month after Cheyenne was strangled. It is not clear who is caring for the girl now. Jaron Hare and Charles Darnell were released from jail in 2021.